Okay. Hopefully you can all see that. I'll just get a little laser pointer going. There we go. So acknowledgement to funders already done. The purpose of this study was to look at electric heat for the site that James has described. And the investment criteria was a simple payback with a 5-year hurdle. So we were presenting with that metric. Um, why consider electrification? Gas has always been cheaper, but in the last 15 years, there's been a significant change in electricity markets. So if we go back to 2015, this darker blue line is what the time of day average price looked like, and the band around it was pretty small. With the advent of solar coming into the system, the whole shape of the average has changed. We have the famous duck curve, and more importantly, the range around the duck curve has become considerably wider, including a lot of time spent at or below zero. So that is the opportunity if we look at this for financial years from 2015 to now, average price, and you can see that that has moved around a lot, but has always been higher than the red bar, which is gas, until actually just this year, where electricity's come down for the first time below the cost of making heat from gas. But what we're focused on is the green line. The green line is if you bought the lowest 30% of spot prices, what would you be paying? So that has been below gas and above gas, but then from around about 2021, the gap really opened up. And now we see a consistent spread between the cost of the cheapest 30% of electricity spot prices and the cost of gas. So we are focused on looking at opportunities based on this resource that's out there to electrify heat and to displace gas. So basically, we have the existing DON system, which is gas boilers into a steam distribution system. That plant is about half a kilometer long from end to end. And we're looking at putting next to it one or other electric heat element. And as James has pointed out, heat pumps are not going to be a viable option here. So we're looking at various electric steam generators. Um, this gives diversity of either using electricity or gas, and the two systems stay in operation in parallel. It's a hybrid system. It also potentially delivers some energy security if there are gas shortages, for instance, and it provides some redundancy in case there are boiler outages or a shortfall in boiler capacity for one reason or another. It also, because we would be putting in a whole new power supply, addresses a whole bunch of issues around factory power quality and power security. So there are multiple co-benefits to looking at this idea. So the way we have done that is we've started out by just doing a thorough analysis of steam demand, 15-minute data for a full year. Peak load is sitting at around 11. It's almost 100% of the year running. And we have a very good handle on the boiler efficiency factors. I won't go into any more detail there. So we did two options. We did a small option of 4 megawatt and a large option of 12 megawatt, just to get a sense of the continuum. For each of these, we did an instant electric boiler and an electric thermal storage or heat battery option. So this is a load duration curve for steam, which goes from that highest 11.1 megawatts down to the few hours of the year when there's nothing operating. So if we put in a 4 megawatt electric and ran it constantly, we would displace a fair amount of the gas, and we'd have pretty good utilization of that system, except for this red corner. Obviously, a bigger system, you would displace more gas potentially, but your utilization of the plant wouldn't be as good. So the economics are more challenging. So we were just trying to get a sense of scale. This is the results on operating cost. Gas sitting at about 3.6 million at the moment. And then of the two thermal storage systems, the large one has the lowest operating cost. And that's simply because it is able to purchase and store those low spot price periods and then produce steam when required. There's still some gas used, about a quarter as much gas as would be the case. So the actual gas displacement would be about 78% of gas would be displaced. So significant gas displacement and significant operating cost saving. So of the four options we looked at, that does seem to be the most attractive option. In fact, the electricity you're buying is a negative cost because the current price range in Victoria. So we translated that into a payback. So we have here the two triangles are the electric boilers, and the two squares are the small and the large electric thermal storage heat battery option. So this was the better performing option, the large one displacing 78% of gas. And they all interestingly landed up with a payback of between 8 and 10 years. So that is greater than the 5-year hurdle. But this is without doing any real optimization and with pretty conservative view on the cost of system. So the next step would be to go and do a proper front-end engineering, do the necessary grid studies and so on, and see if we can move this closer to the 5-year payback. Alternatively, consider heat as a service with a third-party investor type option. One interesting result here is we did a test of saying, well, what if we ran this thing to 100% gas displacement? And that moved the payback for the large heat battery from 9.5 years up to about 12 years. And so that's not too dramatic an impact, and it does show that it is possible to displace all gas if you really wanted to or needed to. Just looking at this from a carbon perspective, Don has a 2018 base and a 2030 target of 40%, and this is where the net total is going to go. And we said if we put this heat battery in 2030, where would that take us? And also the cogen, retiring the cogen plant. Well, that gets us well ahead of the planned 20 or the potential 2035 target of a 65% reduction. But if we do nothing, then we're not going to make that target. So possible to translate all of this into a macro carbon view. So those are the findings of the study. Thank you very much to Don and James, particularly for all the support and cooperation. It's been a very interesting exercise.